Olá, pessoas! Eu sou a Priscila Ganiko e eu tô aqui nessa Londres fictícia, mas na verdade é Los Angeles, porque eu vim fazer uma entrevista com o elenco, o diretor e também os produtores de Máquinas Mortais, um filme que vai sair logo menos aí, então bora conferir a entrevista?
He would have killed me too. But I got away.
What was the first thing that you envisioned about this movie? What was the first thing that you decided about it?
Well, the first thing we sort of really needed to design was London. Like the mechanics of how it would move and the balance of that sort of an industrial quality, but also a beautiful city that had a lot of culture, commerce, and nicer places to live and not so nice, you know, to live. But also something that was iconic, something that had, you know, an iconic silhouette.
You began this project more than 10 years ago, then you stopped to work on The Hobbit.
Yes.
So how did the ideas mature or change from what you had back then?
Well, it's a very good question. It's good to be able to put something on the shelf for a while, because it's actually as a creative sort of technique, just to work on something and then just put it on hold for a while. Actually, you do come back to it with fresh eyes. We've done a lot of design work, and so we were able to look at our designs again and thought, no, these aren't really very good. And also, Christian Rivers came on board to direct it. After The Hobbit, which is before The Hobbit it was going to be me doing it, but Christian had done a lot of second unit work for us on The Hobbit. He'd done some amazing scenes, and it was time for him to direct his first film, so I thought this is the perfect film for Christian. So certainly, you know, even just because of the fact that the director changed, you know, the whole project really changed after 10 years.
Where did you drew the inspiration for what you did to London?
It started with the book. I mean, the book has very clear descriptions of St. Paul's being, the ruins of St. Paul's being on the top, but we looked at different things. I wanted to have some clear iconography of London, so you know, I looked at the lions of Trafalgar Square, and we sort of, you know, we created these giant lions on the front of London,
so cool.
which sort of helped its, you know, which were an icon of, you know, being a giant predator as well.
This weapon can wipe out the largest city in the blink of an eye.
Hester and Anna are just amazingly strong women. They're very determined and they hold on to their beliefs. What is the thing you like the most about each one of them?
I think how they overcome difficulties and how strong they are mentally, I think, is something that I'm fascinated by, and I feel really inspired by from both of them, you know.
Yeah, it's like we learn from trying to embody these characters. I also love their fearlessness.
Yeah.
You know, and their dedication to their own freedom.
You both interpret characters who are like paternal figures, but they're not very good at parenting.
No.
So if you could give one piece of advice to them, what would it be?
I always think it's important to read to your children, so I thought maybe you should read to Hester more.
And I would say to Thaddeus, you don't have to present to your children as being infallible. It's important for your children to see you as being, you know, imperfect. Human beings are imperfect, and children need to see weaknesses in their parents as well as strengths.
Your characters are forced to take a different look on society. How do you think this can reflect on what we are living today, like nowadays?
We're in a great state of change, aren't we, these days?
Yes.
And a little bit fatalistic, I think. People are quite fatalistic about will the human race prevail?
Will things get better?
Yeah. Will we all end up living in underground bunkers and eating rat sandwiches?
That doesn't sound good.
Well, you've never had my rat sandwich. I mean, it's
okay.
You know.
I've had. It's not good.
Did you really? God. Would you say that your characters are kind of opposite because we have a not-human kind of coming to terms with his own humanity, and a human who's like not that.
Yeah, I think that's very true in many ways. I mean, you mentioned at the very beginning that they're father figures, and they're almost oppositional forces. They're both father figures to one particular person, actually, which makes them both of them her father, and yet they present initially in incredibly different ways and are revealed to be have opposite characters to what they initially present as. So we travel on separate journeys away from each other, and yet kind of are bound together by a certain person.
I will kill her. You chose to do some practical effects together with the digital effects. Can you tell me a bit why?
It wasn't so much practical effects, but it was just lots and lots of sets. I just think there's going to be a disconnection to the world. Look, actors have such a hard job anyway. You know, people think acting's easy. It's not. It's so hard to be convincing. I wanted this world to have a physicality, and so I wanted them to always have a small piece of set that they could interact with, so they weren't just walking around on green boards with green screen and green poles and tennis balls. They actually had something physical. Even if most of the shot was going to be filled out with digital effects, they could at least touch something, knock against it, run along it, and it would look and feel and sound like the real world.
If you could describe the movie in just one word, what would it be?
Oh, define it in one word?
Yeah.
Can't.
Thrilling.
Unique.
Epic.
Oh, okay. Female? Female. I don't know.
Exciting.
Bonkers.
Bonkers?
Bonkers.
Well,
Bonkers in a good way.
There is a very strange word, Philippa.
It's eccentric and it's like nothing you've ever seen before.
But that's about 6 words.
Okay, all right. I cheated. I'm a writer.
She's cheating.
She's cheating.
She's beautiful and strange and very, very rare.